All right. So I didn't anticipate on being back this early. I don't even know why I'm even doing this, to be honest. Um, I mean, obviously, like I say this, man. The thing is, I am here because I don't think it was fair for to Kevin Stefanski for me to um criticize as highly as I did of this hire. I mean, I know it's not his fault. He can't hire himself. Um, if it was a promotion, I would go for it. Um, I'm not like I just want to say this like it's not against him per se. It's just it just wasn't a good decision to me. Okay, so I just wanted to say that because like I don't think it's fair. Like I would hate it for me to get a promotion at a job or something like that, or me to get a new job and then like everybody in the building hates me. You know, I'm not no hater. I've never been no hater for real. You know, maybe a little jealous or a little envious at times just for, for the simple fact of just like of the want of something, but I never been like no hater for real. Like it's never been anything like to the point where it's like I don't want to see nobody win. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I'm here because I said get rid of the team. Obviously, I don't want to see the Browns leave. Like that shit would be horrible in Ohio. You know, Northeast Ohio at least. You know, Cincinnati still had a team, but with no football here, like we really wouldn't have truly no identity. So I just wanted to come back here and at least, from my last post to this post, kind of do a post where a vlog or whatever you want to call this, a little less emotion involved. Now, it doesn't mean that like I'm 100% positive on it, but I had time to kind of think and just be like, take a step back and to really take control, see for what this hire is and what it can possibly mean for this team and this franchise. So I'm gonna do 5 concerns. I'm gonna start off with the bad. 5 concerns I have. Just concerns. You know what I mean? Obviously, I put some thought into this, so don't sit up here and think like I'm just saying shit off the top of my head, just trying to be funny. Cause I'm not. Like I'm being honest as far as like these concerns that I have. And then I'm also give you 5 reliefs slash possibilities that I can possibly see happening or with this hire. So we'll kind of jump into that. Uh, Number one, my first concern. I wrote the team will try and take in an identity and it end up being like a robot. I know that sounds crazy, but I was basically saying is that with this hire, I feel like yeah, it's gonna take an identity now. They try so hard to find an identity of the team, and it seems like we going to the analytics stuff, and to the analytics, it feels like a robot to me personally. And the reason why I say these things is because of just what I'm hearing, from these reports. I'm just listening. Obviously, I don't know how true this is or is this set in stone or whatever, but allegedly Paul, I'm gonna just call him P Diddy, man. I don't know how to say his last name, but P Diddy basically wants the plays to him on Friday, and then he also wants somebody on the field from the analytics team of his with a headset. And and there was one more thing that he wanted, but the getting the game plan by Friday and the whole analytic approach, I just feel like if we is gonna really just be using straight analytics, I mean, from what it sounds like, it don't. I mean, it sounds like there's gonna be a little play call in there, but for the most part, analytics is supposed to be at least 80% of what we're gonna be doing. And to me, like I said, through this approach and through the personnel that's hired between P. Diddy and Stefanski, and then Andrew Berry, if he's supposed to be there, supposed to be all Ivy League schools. Now, I was going to bash Ivy League schools until I found out that J.C. Tretter is from an Ivy League school, and I like J.C. Tretter, so I don't want to bash Ivy League schools, but I will say that just because you went to an Ivy League school doesn't mean you're the smartest person on the planet. And it definitely doesn't mean that you're more qualified than anybody else that maybe went to a D3 school and maybe went to Mount Union or something like that, and because you went there that you're a better mind for football because you went to an Ivy League school. So I just want to say that, at least, that I don't give a shit about Ivy League schools. I don't care that you went to an Ivy League school. I'm sure there's things that you don't know that I know, and vice versa. There's things that you will know that I won't know. But nonetheless, this doesn't provide any type of distinguishedness or any type of like prestige that makes me feel like, all right, this person is more qualified than anybody else. So that was my number one, is that the team will take a robot, like an identity like a robot. And again, what I mean by that is just like all this analytical approach. Once the analytics don't work, what's going to happen is error, error, error. Play not working, play action not working, error, analytics. Like, I don't know. I know I'm bullshitting. I'm just talking. So that was my first concern. My second concern is it's going to be football guys versus the nerds. And I don't think it will mesh well. I mean, for the most part, Dorsey picked majority of this team that's right now. And as far as Dorsey, even though I didn't see eye to eye with him on OBJ getting here, and I didn't see eye to eye with Freddie being around as long as he was around. For the most part, Freddie was pretty sane as far as like a football guy. He knew the history. He knew, the do's and the don'ts in Northeast Ohio. He knew a lot about the football tradition of the Cleveland Browns. And because he was a football guy, he brought in football players, like actual like Jocks, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you want to have Jocks. You want to have, competitors, dudes that's gonna try to, win the game at all the time. You know what I mean? And I feel like the culture that John Dorsey probably foreseen for the Browns is not gonna work with what P. Diddy is trying to do. I mean, because if you think about it, like all the players that P. Diddy been picked and, through the time of his years here, and with Andrew Berry being here or Sachi Brown, hardly any of those players are here. Besides the exception of Myles Garrett, but that's like a no-brainer. Like, anybody gonna pick Myles Garrett as number one. You know what I mean? That wasn't hard. And then, that's pretty much it. Other players that P. Diddy been involved in aren't really here. I don't know if Schobert falls into that. I can't remember what year Schobert was picked, but I know he's been here for a long time, so he might have been here from the beginning. I think he was right. He was here right when we got Hugh Jackson, so that would have been that season. So yeah, he got some picks, some not. But like I said, for the most part, we've been using analytics for like before Dorsey got here, and it really hasn't done shit for us. Other than collect a bunch of money. So I just feel like the football versus the nerd thing, it's not gonna mesh, man. And to be honest, and this is just a side note, like when players are saying, "Come get me," like I really see it coming now. You know what I mean? Like I really see it coming now, just for the fact that this isn't what they signed up. This isn't the culture. It's not gonna work. You're not gonna give a bunch of football players some spreadsheets and PowerPoints in regards to what the game plan gonna be. That to me is just, it's just dumb. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's, oh gosh, I feel like that's the way you're gonna do things. You're gonna have a game plan on Friday, and he gotta check it, and he kind of gotta have a man like down there, and then switching the plays or this that. Like, I'm worried about the adjustment, Like, it's one thing to be a statistic dude for baseball, because with baseball, it's like more of tendencies and just like what kind of happened, what's the probability of things happening like that. What baseball's a little like you can't determine where a home run gonna go. You know, you hit that motherfucker ball, you ain't gonna be able to determine if it's gonna go right or left or every single time. Like you meant to do that. It's really by like chance. Football things happen by chance, but more so it's a guided chance. You know, I know that the ball needed to get here. You know, I know the ball needs to be thrown here. Not I'm gonna throw the ball and I don't know where it's gonna go, but the ball needs to be accurately here. You get what I'm saying? Like hitting the now on defense or whatever. Like, but even still, it's still it's still all probability. Football is a little bit more of skill and preciseness, while baseball is more of like a chance, luck, and you know, just what that player do. You know, when they play. So it's totally different, and I'm worried about that. Number 3 is I'm worried that the growth of Baker would just be stat padding. I feel like all through the regular season, like it'll just. I mean, we know that Stefanski's good at getting more out of his quarterbacks, but I feel like they got more out of Case Keenum than they did Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins was supposed to be the guy when they got him. And they went deeper with Kirk Cousins. Or not Kirk Cousins, but Case Keenum. So you never made it past the first round. Since you had Kirk Cousins. Or the first divisional game. And another thing about that too is that I noticed that with P. Diddy's picks, as far as the head coaches with Sean McDermott and Stefanski, McDermott is an actual coach, but Stefanski wasn't, so you kind of give him a little bit of leeway. But both of them guys don't make it past the first game of the playoffs. Granted, it would be nice to make it to the playoffs, so I can't be super mad at that, but that's where I get where the Pat statting at, is that it's going to do everything in for the regular season, but when the time really hit, you know, what's going to happen then? Because we seen during the 49ers, he had no answers. None. Absolutely none. So that worries me a whole lot. You know, that you don't make the adjustments that needed. And there's no amount of fucking stats or analytics that's going to be able to tell you how to make the adjustments properly. You either got to know it or you don't. 4, kind of lead into what I was saying before. We won't go far in the playoffs if we make it. Just because, like I said, this is dudes that he picked so far. They haven't made it very far. Like I said, McDermott, 2 years in a row, make it to the wild card or the first game of the playoffs and then eliminate it. Stefanski, this year, I mean, he did get past the first one, so I guess I got to take that one back. But the one before that, he only made it past the first round, so I don't know, man. I guess I could take that one back. I should have did my research a little bit more before I said that one. 5 is that this will explode into Haslam's face, and we wasted all the great talent, and we will never have talent like that again under this ownership. Yeah. I mean, these were John Dorsey's guys, most of them picked, so. And I'm not saying like John Dorsey was bulletproof and he had some missed picks too. Like I get that. But for the most part, the dudes that I wanted here, he picked for them. Like the dudes that I felt like were Browns players, he got them here. Like I said, Baker, Denzel, Greedy, Mack. I mean, those are just the dudes from the draft that I thought was like should have been Browns. And we got every single one that I wanted. I mean, for the most part, that we could get at least. So I feel like now that this is together, I just feel like it's just going to blow up in their face, to be honest. And I don't understand why they try so hard to focus on the growth of Baker. Like, my whole thing is like, okay, when you play basketball, like when you young, you start working on your left if you right-handed. You start working on your left so that you could be better with your left and your right. Why is it such a crazy idea? I mean, y'all can tell me if I'm crazy or not, but why is this such a crazy idea that we would have hired Salah, who's an excellent game planner and an excellent game play caller and all of that, especially on defense. Like, right? Baker goes against a defense. So why not get a head coach that is defensive minded that can teach Baker what a defense is looking to do to him? You get what I'm saying? Like, so Baker would be like, so Baker has his coach be like, look, this is what the defense is doing. They doing this scheme, they doing this scheme, blah blah. This is how you beat these type of defenses. Because clearly, looking at Stefanski, he didn't have no answer for Sailor. So like, again, you know what I mean? It's just it doesn't make sense to me. But that's it. With that, let me get into my reliefs since we finished it out. Oh man, I know this is a long video. I'm sorry, y'all. My first one is they have the alignment that they wanted, and the message should be the same all across. No more of the Game of Thrones type of stuff. Somebody else said that first, and I kind of piggybacked off it. But yeah, it did kind of feel Game of Thronesy. You know, with everybody going behind each other's backs and so forth, and until people finally got their way, till they finally got the full ear of Haslam. But I mean, it's still gonna be like that. But I mean, only time would tell. At least for right now, what they saying is they got their alignment, so that's a good thing. Number two is we have someone that has coached a unit into the playoffs. I mean, that went into my concern, but it's also a good thing. Like, we haven't been to playoffs in a long time, so us just getting to the playoffs would be a big deal. You know what I mean? And I mean, it will be. I would still be happy about that. I know I said that I need a Super Bowl out of Stefanski, but I mean, we'll just start with the playoffs first. But we'll just start with the playoffs first, and he's done that. He's got his team to the playoffs. The past 3 years, I believe. So, we can trust this dude to do the same thing. Hopefully that works off on us. So we got somebody that does that. Number three, we didn't hire somebody that was going to bring in the Patriots way. I did not want Josh McDaniels. He is from Northeast Ohio. He is from John Carroll, but it's more than that. I can't rock with no Patriot stuff. They just are cheaters to me. I want no part of it. No part of the Patriots way whatsoever. So they didn't totally fuck up with me by hiring Josh McDaniels, even though I kind of would have fell in line just because he's from Ohio, but I think I would have been more heated than this hire. You kind of like, the thing that gets me about this, I'm not even going to talk about. We just talking about the release and possibilities, man. I'm not about to keep dwelling on the negatives because Stefanski, you are a guy. I'm bringing you in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Whatever. Number four, we will actually see if this analytical stuff actually worked. So we could stop trying to hold on to depose P. Diddy, and we will actually see if the Moneyball stuff works. Put your money where your mouth is. Like, we really gonna see if this is it. And I think we're like the blueprint guinea pig team as far as like analytics into this manner. I think 80% from what I'm listening to, at least 80% of what we're doing is predicated off analytics. So let's see what this shit gonna do, man. I just don't feel good about it, man. I can't hold it in. I'm faking it, but I'm so scared. Like, I wasn't even gonna do these videos no more. I was just gonna wait till the draft for real. But I felt like Stefanski deserved more from me. I feel like, I'm one of the players, one of the guys, even though I'm not, obviously. But I don't want, anybody in my viewers or whatever like that to feel like my biasness is rubbing off on the entire fan base or whatever. I'm only got like 89 subscribers, so I doubt it, but nonetheless, like, I don't want to be that negative. I wanted to be the real Browns fan, the real uncensored Browns fan. So I don't want to seem like I'm bandwagon. I'm not bandwagon. All I'm saying is I don't believe in this shit. But 5, if this works out, we'll have stability. We'll have something that we have not had since the Haslams took ownership. So we'll see, man. I mean, if those are my 5 reasons, hopefully this plans out. Hopefully it all works out together, and we'll be in the playoffs and happy and cheering, but only time would tell. Like I said, I'm not confident in it, but let's give him a chance. And I mean, we gave Freddie a chance, we gave Hugh a chance, we gave all these dudes a chance. We gotta give this guy a chance too. I'm just mad that it wasn't my guy. I felt like my guy was the one. I mean, even Richard Sherman agreed with me. I don't know why they did this, but they did it. So welcome Stefanski. Welcome to the Browns, the Dog Pound. Looking forward to seeing what you do this season. The real inconsistent Browns fans signing out till next time, man. I think I'm done for real until draft, but we'll see.